So I know I'm going to be a really small box, but at Amplify Live, all of our Elevate clients already got a copy of this. So if you are an Elevate client and you already got a copy, tell us in the chat. And you can just scan this QR code, and we can also drop a link to the form so you can get a copy. But this is like the biggest labor of one. We do a lot of things at Elevated, but this was one of our very large labors of love. So this is our yearly magazine. It's our third magazine that we have put out over we are recording. Over 3 years, we try to do this every winter. So this is this year's copy. You see last year's copy in the photo there, and it's just really a really great way to learn more. And we have tons of articles in here. It's packed with content. So if you know you love our content, if you want to learn more about predictable sales, then grab the magazine. We have a whole bunch of articles around how to build trust, how to create content that turns into sales, how to build teams so you can scale. It's going to be really great. So,
and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is free, right? This shows
yes.
how much I know, but yes, this is free. So take that.
Okay, Dan, you got some more people in the waiting room.
I'm doing it. I got it.
Okay, so we're going to get started because we want to respect your time, and we have a lot to cover today. We're going to be talking about how to get predictable sales in your business. We're going to be walking you through our funnels. We're going to share the changes that we have made in 2024 and how that's changed since 2023. And then we're going to have a chance for you to ask questions. So something about us is that we really love these trainings to be interactive. We don't want to just talk at you. We want you to really walk away feeling like you got something from this. So this is what we're going to be talking about, the $26 million predictable sales event. So $26 million, this is how much revenue our clients have collected in cash since 2023. So this is over since we started recording in data trackers how much cash our clients were collecting. And last year, it's actually really fun because last year we did the $10 million training, and this year we are doing the $26 million training a year later. So it's actually, I didn't even think about that until this moment. So last year we did the $10 million fast cash funnel. Now this year we're doing the $26 million predictable sales event. And that just shows you how much growth our clients have had in the past year, which is really exciting. So tell me in the chat if you are an Elevate client, this is your first ever live training with us, or if you've been to live trainings with us before. Just tell me in the chat so I can get an idea. I always Elevate clients, I obviously know who you are, but for everyone else to know, first live, okay? Hey, Jessica. Hey, Allison. Elevate Lifer, Ren. This is my first. Welcome. Tammy, Elevate, first live. Emily, yay. First, okay, amazing. Mistral, yay. First training, and sorry. Oh my goodness, that is totally okay. Awesome. So just to give you a little bit of background, Dan is my husband and business partner, and it always cracks us up when I guess we don't do a great job of telling people like, hey, we're married. And sometimes Dan gets on the phone with people and he's like, yeah, I'm Nicole's husband. And they're like, oh, okay, I get it now. So Dan and I own Elevated. It's our company. And then we also have Katie Woodrick here, who is on our team. She is like our chief systems officer. She's like head of staff. She helps our business run smoothly. And tech wise, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for, like, literally, we wouldn't probably be on this call if it wasn't for her. So she's waving hi to you in the chat. So our entire goal is to help founders with the right strategy, tools, and mindset to grow wildly profitable and wildly fun businesses. And we do that through predictable sales. So I would love to know in the chat, and you can see our entire team here. This was just a few weeks ago at our Amplify event, and we had 2.5 amazing days with our clients. It was the most electric, fun, like get work done session, and we can't wait to do it again in April. But before we get into the training, I would love to know, like, what made you actually show up live here today? because I know how show up rates have been declining, and I know the frustrations that people have been experiencing this year. So I would love to know, oh my goodness, is Katie Soy here? And I totally didn't. Oh my goodness. Hi, Katie Soy. She is our messaging magician. I, of course, cannot leave you. Cannot leave you out. I didn't see your face on the screen, so I have to give you a shout out. What caused you to show up here today? Like, what caused you to put this in your calendar? And you can, those of us who are getting people to show up live, I want you to actually study this, because study this for yourself too. What made you block this out in the calendar? What made you actually show up live here today? And we didn't coordinate outfits. Oh my, are we all wearing white and black? No, Katie's in a pop. Katie has a pop of color. So what made you show up here live today? Every other Elevate Live call is so powerful. I can't stand to miss one. Live calls give me positive energy to keep me moving, wanting to learn from a different perspective. Amazing. Okay, keep telling us. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Keep telling us in the chat what caused you to show up. So what I want to know from you, because we're gonna get out the iPad, we're gonna do some drawing, we're gonna show you our funnels, but I want to know, what are you experiencing right now? And everything in business, we will always tell you, everything in business has a high and a low. No matter where you are in business, no matter what revenue level you are at, all businesses experience highs and lows. All businesses experience problems. All businesses have opportunities. We all are here solving problems. So I want you to know that at every level, there are problems that need to be solved in business, and there's nothing wrong with you, or there's nothing wrong with your business if you're experiencing a problem. All our businesses have problems, including our business. So I would love to know what's the high, like what's a win you're having right now, and what's a struggle, what's a high and what's a low. And the reason why we're asking you this is because we really want to understand your number one struggle, so we can help you we can't unravel, we can't unpack all of that in an hour training together, but we can start to give you some of the right steps. So tell me in the chat, what's a win and what's a struggle? What's a high? What's a low? Oh, amazing, Chris. Heard you on James Wedmore podcast, visited your IG, heard about the live event. I know from James the power and energy of showing up live. I love that you said that, because you're totally setting us up here for what we're going to be talking about today. More consistent sales throughout the year, evergreen strategies, predictable sales. Sales aren't working as well. Wanted to see your advice. Yes. Okay. So you're all in the right spot. You're all in the right spot, which is amazing. So magic wand, Katie Soy knows, Katie's our messaging magician, and we talk a lot about magic wands. And I won't make Katie take out her actual magic wand, but I just want to know, what is your magic wand? Like, if I could wave a magic wand and say, hey, I'm gonna permission granted to have anything you want before December 31st, 2024, what are you asking for? What are you asking for?
We've got some more ones in the chat too. Let's see. Nicole Cox, win, just completing her first in-person client event, challenge breaking 100K months consistently. All right, can't wait to talk through that. Buffy, high, starting to get clear on problem solves and pain points. Low, putting together a funnel that converts. Ooh, okay, we can talk through that. All right, Christine's looking to get engagement back up and people being able to find me again. Magic wand of 100K months.
Okay, so you're here, and we always like to come from the place of service. And I also want you to know who, like, the team here that's sitting in front of you. And this is kind of like, hey, why should you listen to us? Well, here's the why. Dan and I have been doing this since 2011. I started as a 4th grade special ed teacher. I quit the classroom to have my own food business, and we grew our food business online and in person, doing a mix really of local marketing and online sales. We grew our email list, we started running Facebook ads, and basically, without going into 13 years of running a business, we started getting asked a lot of questions. How are you growing your food business online? How are you growing an email list? How are you running ads? And we started to basically develop a consulting business where we started teaching this to other people. So we started in the food industry. We came over to be basically business consultants, and we have had 24 straight months of over 100K months. Our clients have collected over $26 million since 2023, as reported by them. And we're here to show you and share with you what we have learned just in the past 2 years. Now, we've been doing this a long time. This was not I do not have one of those hit $1 million quickly stories. This is like the story. My story is a story of consistency. My story is the story of showing up every single day as much as I can as a mom, as a family who has 3 kids. We have one of our kids home right outside the door today. Of course, today she was like, not really feeling too great. No problem. You can stay home. We will make it work. So that's basically who you're learning from here today. Dan and I are huge data nerds. We have studied how to create strategic evergreen funnels to get people to come in, binge, and buy. Some people don't even have to binge. They will just see our pages and they will just buy. Probably some of you here have bought our Cash Conversations. Some of you Elevate clients came in through Cash Conversations or our secret podcast. You told me in the chat, some of you just came in from James Wedmore, hearing me on the podcast. You came into my Instagram, you saw something that was interesting, and you showed up. Like, the power of being able to get someone to come to your Instagram and show up live because you said something interesting, you said something that was different. That is the power of what we're going to be showing you today, where it's operated off speed. Some people don't even have to binge. Some people will binge and then come in. But the goal is, how do we get people to find you, and how do we get them to build trust almost instantly? So the right person, not every person, but the right person is going to come in and they're going to buy from you. So we're going to show you how to create predictable sales and set up your funnels to get buyers 10 times faster, because it's built for speed. So now let me know in the chat, do you have, if you think about yourself as like a storefront, because we're businesses, do you have an offer someone can buy today? Just let me know in the chat. Like, are you open for business right now? That's what I want to know. Are you open for business? Or are you not right now? And there's no wrong or right answer. Okay, amazing. Yes, but people don't know that. Mistral, we're going to work on that. Okay, is there anyone that does not? And again, there's no wrong or right, but I just want to get an idea. So we have thousands. Every single week we collect a data tracker from our clients. So we have thousands of data trackers collected from our clients at this point. And what we have done, what we have pulled out, and how we have modified what we've done, even in the past 12 months, is based on what we've found works for them and what works for us. And here's just some that I pulled out from Data Tracker. Increase of $3,000 every single week. Had our first 15K month without the exhausting launch. Took family on vacation. 10 times growth on passive income product, and started a college fund for our kids, which, like, these are the reasons why we do what we do. We also have a really fun impact report. We share these at our live event. And at the last live event, which was a few weeks ago, over $26 million with 151 average annual revenue. And just some fun wins from our amazing clients here. And the reason why I show you that is because I want you to know, like, it's not just us. Like, we collect data trackers every single week because we want to know what is going on with our clients so we can help and support them. And that's really what sets us apart. So there's 2 main problems we see happening right now with online sales and launches. And I want to know which one of these is like we call it like your bleeding problem, your problem that's like the earworm. Everyone has the earworm problem in their business. It's like that song that you just can't get out of your head that you're like, I just need to fix this. I just need to move on from this right now. So the number one kind of bleeding problem, earworm problem, is a quiet audience who doesn't show up live. So let me know in the chat if this one is you. You can either tell me now, is this, we'll use the stoplight. Green is like, my audience is chatty and shows up live. They comment, they engage. Yellow would be sometimes they talk back and sometimes they don't. And red would be like, my audience is pretty quiet. My number one goal is to get them to talk back. Okay, we got some all different colors in here. We got some yellows, we got some reds. And the other problem is lower sales conversions. No, you are not. You are 100% not in the wrong spot. We're going to get into showing you also how your evergreen can work better as well. So the other problem is lower sales conversions. So this is like hearing a lot of, I will buy, I'm going to buy later, or thank you so much. You're so amazing. You've helped me so much. Peace out. People taking 3 to 5 launches before they buy. Things that used to work to get sales are not working now. And then more stress. Like, how many people feel, and again, this is not a good, bad, right, or wrong thing, but how many people feel more stress to make money by a certain date? And does anyone else in here also feel like they're chasing money and they're chasing goals? Because these are two pretty common things. Okay. Now, the number one reason why I asked this question too is because I want all of you to know you're not alone. And these are very common things that CEOs deal with. Like I have dealt with this myself. Sometimes it's self-imposed stress. So I want you to know, and I think there's a lot of benefit to knowing you're not alone, because many of us don't have in real life, like our actual in real life people to talk to and to just share, hey, I'm going through this right now, or I'm really stressed out, or I'm just really chasing my goals right now and it's really hard. So you're in a safe space, and this is something we experience. So let me know, what's your main problem? Is it quiet audience or sales conversions? What's your main one? Okay, awesome. And if your answer is both, totally fine. We're going to talk about both. Okay, cool. And how many people in the past 12 months have felt like, I want to burn everything down? If you haven't, I probably should just ask, who hasn't felt like they want to burn everything down? Because this is another very common thing. Ask my team, like, it's very normal when you're having a hard day or a hard month to feel like you want to burn everything down, but we don't. And we get better. So it's okay. So what's actually happening that is causing these problems? Let's talk about it. The first thing, how many of you have heard me talk about this? Because I've been talking about the antitrust era for over a year now. This is something that I feel very strongly, because I want you to know it's not you. It is not you. It is not your fault you are having these struggles in business. There are people, our audiences are ones who have tried so many things. Some of them have been burned before. Some of them have just tried and haven't been able to have success for whatever reason. It doesn't really matter. So trust with other people and trust with themselves is down. So we have to be able to overcome the antitrust era, because I know something about you. And if you are here, you have been doing this a long time. Tell me in the chat how long you've been doing this for. How long have you been doing? I know I attract like the old souls of old souls. And I know I don't even mean that in like linear age years. Us in the room, I asked this at our Amplify Live event, and we are like collectively like the oldest group of people. We are the experts of all experts. We are not the people in general, the ones who just started a business today. So we are the ones that people can trust, but we really have to understand how we set up our content and how we set up our funnels so people understand, hey, I have been doing this a really long time. I am the real deal. I get results and you can trust me. So how many people do you feel like you've had a problem where people are like, "Hey, I have to buy later because I've been burned before." Because I know that this is a problem people are having. So this causes price objections, it causes hesitation, it causes slow sales, and it causes a skeptical audience as well. So when you're not selling all the time, which many of you are, which is amazing, it actually can hurt if your audience doesn't perceive you open for business. It's actually hurting how you build trust with some of your audience. So if you think about it, have you ever seen a store in your town or where you live that was only open like sometimes? And every time you try, I know we've had stores in our town, like every time you tried to go there, they're closed and you're like, what is going on here? Like something is up. Why aren't you open more? And for many of us, if our audience is perceiving us as closed, or they don't understand how to work with you, or they don't understand how to buy from you, or they don't understand what you do, it gets very confusing for them. And the last thing we want is a confused audience, because you've all heard the phrase, a confused audience, a confused prospect, they don't buy. So we want to clear up that confusion. And even if you're like, hey, I am open for business, but I don't think I'm as clear as I could be. Anyone feel like that? I think that it's a little fuzzy for people to really understand who I help and how I help them. Then that's kind of like what we're doing here. You're kind of being that store in town that is a little strange. I was going to say we're not strange, but usually we are a little strange. That's why we're here, but we want to be the store that you understand. Oh, this is what I go to. This is the go-to. Like I can think of, okay, if I have to get something, I don't know why this just popped into my head, but if I have to get something embroidered, or if I need like a really special personalized gift, I know exactly where I'm going in town. I know exactly what they're going to do for me. I know exactly what they have, and I can go on and see exactly what hours they're open. There is no confusion there. That's what I want you to be like. That's what I want you to be like, because the more people understand who you are, how you help, and how to work with you, then the more they're going to buy. So when you're open for business, when you're not open for business, that has a pretty big typo in it, but that's okay. When you're not open for business all the time and you have these like stop and starts, it causes people to hang out for free because they're trying to understand what you're about. And this is when we experience a lot of people that just hang out all the time. Does anyone feel like my audience takes forever to buy? Anyone experience that? Like people just taking a really long time, like they need to consume so much of your stuff. They need to hang out with you a long time before they can understand. That is probably what is happening here. And then the other thing that happens is your fast buyers are out. The people who are ready to go, the people who are ready to buy, if they at all are questioning, they're out. So there's two types of buyers, the fast buyer and the nurture buyer. And this is what we want to do to basically focus on these two types of buyers. So you have the people who are coming in who are ready to buy, like when we have our sales coming in every single day. And then we also want to cater to the nurture buyer. But most people are running their business to only cater to the nurture buyer, to the person who's going to take their time, who wants to hang out, who wants to go through multiple launches, who want to go through all of your free trainings, and they're missing out on the fast buyer. So there is a way to get them to move faster through your free content, through your funnels, and get them to the purchase faster. So the fast buyer, they find you because you're easily findable. That's another part of this. They binge your content, they decide to buy. The fast buyer loves having options, and they also love to be able to move as fast as they want. So have you ever purchased like this before, where you just like, you found something, you got an ad on Instagram or on Facebook, or you were out, or a friend messaged something to you and you're like, oh my gosh, I need this. Like, what was the last time you bought? I know Sephora sale. I just found a bunch of new product from online influencers and made a few quick new purchases. I was an extremely fast buyer. Like, what was the last thing that you were a fast buyer for? Tell me in the chat. Clothing. Yes, my phone heard me talking about hair growth and I bought the supplement that day. Yes, 100%. Jewelry, supplements. Yes, me too. Me too. Me too. Okay, the nurture buyer. So you can see this actually isn't that different, but we're going to show you the difference. The nurture buyer finds you, they binge your content, and then they decide to buy. The only difference here is the speed at which they move, not you. The only difference is the speed at which they move. So this depends on a few things. Number one, how serious they are about solving their problem, how in pain they are, and how your funnels are set up. So I am a fast buyer, but there's plenty of things I have in my Amazon cart that I have not checked out on. There's plenty of things on my laundry list to buy that I just haven't done anything with because I'm not that serious about solving the problem and I'm not that in pain. So your buyers are your different types of buyers really depend on where they are at. But again, most people's funnels are only catering to the slow buyer. So the most important thing is that if a fast buyer comes into my funnels and they are searching for a specific solution, they can buy right away, they can take action, and they can see results, like literally results. They can get something from what they've purchased from me within 60 minutes. This is a big part of it. Because if they consume my content and they don't get a result, then they may not buy again. So this is just as important as this. So we have to really understand, how do we set up our funnels? How do we set up our content? How do we set up our programs? So it's not only that they're coming in and buying, but they also are getting a quick result and a quick win, because that's how we start to create the buyers for life. So can that happen for your fast buyers? Do the funnels you have set up right now, if someone landed on your Instagram page right now today, could they do this? Just tell me a quick yes or no.
And while people are giving that answer, if you feel like your people are slow buyers, if you're not getting consistent sales, if you can just go back one slide, Nicole, you really should be thinking and looking at messaging. Are you talking to the people who are serious about solving their problem? Are you talking to the people who are seriously in pain, currently in pain with this problem? And are your funnels set up to not only talk to that person, but bring them relief from those problems relatively quickly? And keep in mind, the first step of that relief is showing them that there is an answer, is busting that belief of, oh my gosh, I just have to live with this. Or, oh my gosh, the solution to this problem is so hard. So this is a really big piece. I don't think we're going to dive too deep into the rich niche today, but this is like one of the first steps that we take to speaking to that rich niche, is speaking to those people who are serious about solving their problem and are very in pain with that problem right now. And I think Nicole said on a training the other day, is like, there's like a nail in their side. There's like a little splinter in their foot that is just driving them crazy with this problem.
So here's what we have studied. On average, it takes about 40 minutes for someone to consume the content we give before they buy. Now, this can obviously happen much faster, but the same person can come in, and if they consume 40 minutes, they are way more likely to make a purchase with us. So how fast that can happen depends on how our funnels are set up. So if you don't have the right funnels, they can't move on their own timeline. Because, for example, with our secret podcast, someone could come in and they could binge our secret podcast. That person who binges right away is going to be more likely to make a purchase than someone who comes in, downloads the podcast, but doesn't listen, and it takes them a little bit longer. So what happens with launches, when you're doing launches, they don't have an opportunity to spend time with you as quickly. So that 40 minutes, and I'm not saying yours is going to be 40 minutes too, but you could start with that idea. How long does it take for them to spend time with you? If you're only doing launches, it might take them 3 months to spend 40 minutes with you of the right content that they need to hear before they're ready to buy. So it's really important that your funnel is set up, that your content is set up, that your whole entire sales system is set up so they can move on their own timeline. So the antitrust era, plus the 2 types of buyers, plus using old outdated systems, this is what is keeping a lot of CEOs very stuck and very frustrated. And then they think it's their fault. And it's not. It really is not. The way people have purchased, the way people purchase has changed. The way people buy has changed. But the good news is people are buying. People are spending money. I always joke, if you have any question whether people are spending money, drive 10 minutes away from us to Roosevelt Field Mall on Long Island, New York. That mall is never empty. It is never empty. Go to Whole Foods, always packed. So people are spending money, but they just are more selective in how they spend money. And that's not a bad thing, because all of you here are an expert who is legitimate, who gets results. So we want to be able to really learn to talk and message and set up our funnels so they understand, hey, I can trust you. So what do we do? So for the past 12 months, this is what we've been working on, updating our funnels. I fully believe just you either have to evolve, you're either evolving or you're dying. And I have been doing this since 2011 and I will continue to evolve. I am never going to be the person that says, yeah, but this used to work. I don't care. I don't care. I don't live in the past. I live in the now. So if something that I used to do stopped working as effectively and as efficiently, it's up to me to evolve. So that's what we have been doing. So we started talking about antitrust era and different buyer types over a year ago, literally on this training a year ago. And what we have figured out, even since then, we've been refining your predictable sales funnel. You have to be easily findable, so your rich niche discovers you. It has to be built for speed, so your fast buyers have opportunity to come in and buy, and your nurture buyers have an opportunity to come in and to hang out with you and to understand you. And then you need bingeable content and quick sales. Built for both types of buyer, and they move on their timeline, not yours. We call this the vertical runway. So most people are doing their content in a horizontal fashion. So they're saying, okay, well, my launch is coming up in this amount of time. So 1 month before, I better publish this piece, and then 2 months before, 2 weeks before. And what happens is when you do it this way, then people who come in after, they're missing it. We want to create a vertical runway so they can go through on their own time. So the old way, we overwhelm our audience because we just give them so much free stuff. Then people don't understand how to buy. It takes so darn long to get people to purchase, and you're working harder and seeing worse results. So this is what we're going to talk about. Dan's going to walk you through the actual funnel so people can discover you, they can binge your content, and then they can make a purchase. And again, it is built for speed.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't get myself unmuted. So what we're going to go through is really what the 4 funnels that we have set up right now that are bringing in consistent sales, and then how we are adding these on top of each other. So what I will say is just about a year ago, and I think this is most of how we kind of all started running our funnels, is we had one funnel. We had traffic to a lead magnet. That lead magnet came into our email list. Then we brought those people to a sales event, whether it was a sales call, a training, whatever it was, where we sold them into our main offer. And that was all we ran. And that was all we were running for about 4 years as we were building Elevate. About a year ago, Nicole and I started noticing changes to the environment, changes to the industry, where people were not consuming our free stuff as much. And so instead of pouring more effort into getting people to consume just free stuff, we realized that we needed to add on a few different funnels that were going to operate slightly differently. So I'm going to walk you through those funnels today. And these are meant to run in parallel, so they're supposed to be supporting each other, but they're separate, they're equal, they're interacting, and they are supporting each other. So I'm going to share my screen just so we can go through it and I can kind of walk you through it, and then I do want to give some time to answer questions and go through this together. So just going to share my screen real quick. Oh, my iPad's not connected. One second. All right, let's try that again. Okay, there we go. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, great. So these are the 4 funnels that we want in place to get predictable sales. And so what we're going to do is, just as a basis, is up here, this is all of our traffic. This can be organic traffic, it can be Facebook ads, it can be however you get traffic, this is where we get our traffic. And we're going to bring them into these different funnels. At the bottom here, where we're going to bring these people is we're going to bring them to our main offer, and we're going to try to get sales. And so what you'll notice, the first thing I want you to notice is the speed at which we bring traffic and bring them down to sales is a lot faster. We're moving up our offers in our funnel so that more people are seeing our offers and more people can actually engage, ask questions, say yes to our offers. And so I'm going to work from left to right. This is not linear. You do not need to follow this order and go left to right. You can do it in any order you want. And one thing that we do inside Elevate is we actually work with you to make sure that you are working on the right funnel at the right time. So it really depends on your business, what funnel you should start with, what funnel you should do next. But I'm just going to work left to right, and I'm going to work in a linear fashion for today. So over here on the left, this is the first funnel that honestly most people either have or they start with, and we call it the free funnel. And so this is really where we give away something for free and we bring people in and we drive them to the sale. Now, what's different about this is that most people bring your audience into a free funnel and they go into nurture. We are cutting out the nurture. We are serving through selling. And we're bringing people in through our free stuff and bringing them directly into buying from us, our main offer, Elevate. Now, for some of you, this could be a lead magnet. For others, it could be a webinar. Some of you, it could be a launch. We love a secret podcast because, again, Nicole was talking about bingeability. So we really want this to be bingeable. If your free thing is very long and hard to consume, you are going to have lower sales conversions. So really be aware of how much work you're requiring people to do before they can engage with your offer. The next thing that we work on is we call trust building offers. And what these are low ticket offers. These are a low ticket logical offer. We call them trust building because for so long I was very against trust building offers. For so long, meaning just about 10 years, ever since we got out of the granola business, I was really against low ticket offers. But what I realized through the help of Nicole just about a year ago is that the point of these offers is not just to get sales, but it is an opportunity to bring people into your main offer and to get sales. Now, when we do this right, the trust building offer acts as the mechanism to sell the main thing. So when we look at this, when we look at our trust building offers, when we analyze our trust building offers, yes, we obviously want to get as many of these sales as possible, but the metric that we're measuring is how many of these people who buy our trust building offer actually buy our main offer. Too many people get caught up in trying to get as many low ticket sales as possible, and they think that's really going to drive their profit. For some of you, it can, especially if you have a large audience. But if you have a main offer that you want to bring people to, you really have to not be distracted by these low ticket offers. If we think about the time that you're spending in your business, this time spent on your trust building offer is marketing. It's not selling. It's your marketing time. The beauty of this is when you do this correctly, when you can have your trust building offers working well and bringing in sales all the time, you can basically get free leads. And what I mean by that is you can start running Facebook ads and run Facebook ads directly to sales and be getting sales all of the time. So you can be getting your low ticket sales to pay for your Facebook ads. This helps a lot. Obviously, diversifying risk and helping you scale up your Facebook ad spend. I would say the goal here is free leads, but even if you have to pay money to acquire trust building buyers, you're getting people who are learning to trust you, who are actually consuming your stuff, and they should come in and again, get to this bottom sale down here. Now, what we are talking about here, both of these things, the free funnel and the trust building offer, these two things are automated. You do not need to be live for this, which is great. You can do this all the time. People can come in and get your free thing. They can come in and get your low ticket thing, and they can buy and consume all the time, anytime. However, what we found, especially with talking to people who loved launching, we realized there's just a certain energy about being live. There's a certain energy about showing up and connecting with your people live. And so what we started to really talk about, and we've had this going on for a while, is we call it the 1 hour launch. And for those of you in Elevate, this is the brainstorm. This is that training you invite people to. It's extremely low risk. It's extremely low time. The reason we add it in is because it converts so well to getting people to buy from you because you're showing up live. Now, this does not have to be every month. It doesn't have to be every week, but it's just another funnel in your back pocket that, again, you can bring traffic into, show up live for an hour, give them a presentation, and get sales. The beauty of this is when we add these three together, when we have something free, when we have something low ticket, and when we have something live, this is really when we can create a very hot audience. And this is when we can really increase that engagement and increase the conversations with our audience. And we're really starting to be able to run this thing. Now, most people, this last piece of it is something that I think a lot of people forget about. And I think it's really difficult to forget this because everyone here is an expert. Everyone here gets amazing results with their clients. And so the last piece of this is what we call the secret sale. And this is actually a secret funnel that we have on the back end that only goes to clients. And so what's different about this is actually taking people who have bought one of your main sales and we're pushing them to buy from us again. And this is getting us recurring revenue. And this, when we have this installed, this is truly when we can start to scale. And this is why we call it the predictable sales system, is because for so long, we've only been operating in a silo of just one of these. Maybe you're only running a free PDF funnel. Maybe you're only doing a live launch. But what people have never done before is they've never started adding all these in and having these things support each other. And what's really interesting is not only are we seeing people from the free funnel come into the trust building funnel and people from the trust funnel coming into the 1 hour launch funnel, but we're also learning from our messaging what we should be using and where and how our audience is responding to it. So this is another way that we're enhancing our messaging and learning from our people. We're also really shrinking down the time it takes to get a sale. Because if you think back, what we used to do is we used to have traffic, and then they would become a lead, and then they would come to a sales event, and then they would see our offer, and then hopefully we would get a sale. This whole process could take 90 days. In this process, this could take 90 minutes. So the speed at which they can go through any of these funnels is extremely fast. And so because we're operating faster, because we're serving them faster, we're moving faster, our people are moving faster along with us, and we're able to get sales. at a faster clip. So this is really the difference between the traditional evergreen model, the traditional launch model, and the new predictable evergreen sales model is we have multiple funnels running at once. It doesn't take any extra work. Most of them are automated. Some of them you're already doing, you're just not doing, you're not just not reaping the benefits of it. And then if you want to add in a live element, you can, which greatly will increase your conversions. So Nicole, you want to take back over?
Yeah, I was just going to say the best part of this is most of us already have the pieces of this. It's really just about rearranging your pieces and tweaking them to make them better and to make them fit for the fast buyer and the nurture buyer.
Yeah. And so going on that, like, especially with this free funnel, if you have a webinar or a launch that's performing well, you can convert this into a secret podcast relatively quickly and create it bingeable and have it running all the time. If you have a launch, you can take some of those launch elements and turn it into your 1 hour training over here. So there's a lot that we can work with that you already have that turns into new content. So on Anjali, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but the different prices. So what if your question is for the trust building offers, for the low ticket offers, we've seen this work for $10 offers, $27 offers, $99 offers, really up to that $199 mark. That is what we really call a low ticket offer. And then in terms of overall sales, like the price points, really everything. Our clients are selling anything from $19, $27 memberships, $35 memberships to $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 offers. So they're really, really different. So Charis, do you feel if people get a lot of emails with this model, if they've been in several funnels, I got your free offer Monday, then bought something low ticket Tuesday. Now in this training, I got a lot of emails. Yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, obviously there's a chance that people get overwhelmed. We do try to segment our list and not overwhelm them with too many different offers, but I would also kind of analyze your own buying behavior. You got on our list relatively quickly. You bought something low ticket. Now we have you on something live. So, I mean, it really is, we really want to find those people who have that problem, who are looking to solve it right now. And so if we can email you about those problems and we can get some engagement from that, that ultimately is your goal.
And I love this question because this is my personal viewpoint on this. And this doesn't mean it's right for your business at all. I'm never going to tell you what's right for your business. But one of my favorite things, and we just got this email this week from someone who purchased something, and she said, hey, I unsubscribed from you a while ago because you did send so many emails, but I came back, I was not ready for you, and I came back and I purchased. So people can come and go. Like, that's totally fine. I don't want someone to stay on our list if they're not interested or they don't feel like they're getting some type of value from us. We pay, right? Every business has expenses. So I'm paying to house everyone on my list. So it's totally up to you and what you're comfortable with. But my personal feeling is if someone feels overwhelmed by the number of emails I'm sending, you totally can unsubscribe. And I think about my buying behavior and the emails I get multiple emails every day. Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom's, J. Crew. Like, I'm not personally upset by any one of those emails. I do not go to bed thinking, oh my gosh, how dare J. Crew? They are so rude because they emailed me. Again, that is 100% just me. So you have to do what works for you. That is our personal belief in our personal system. But we see people unsubscribe and purchase after they've unsubscribed literally all the time.
And then I saw another question too that I wanted to talk about. There was a question on the live element. Where'd that go? Oh yeah, Jen. So is the live element super important? I mean, this is kind of, it's kind of the beauty of it is it's up to you. If you really enjoy, so we really, when we were with our clients, we really look at three things. Does it make business sense? Does it make sense with your lifestyle? And do you enjoy it? So would going live make business sense? Probably. You could probably get more sales if you go live every once in a while and sell on there. If it makes sense with your lifestyle, that would be cool. But if you absolutely hate it, then that would be a no-go, you know? So that is the advantage of having some different ideas and some different options. I also think the way that we teach people to go live is a lot less pressure and it's more fun and it's just more of an experiment. I think a lot of people get a little bit, I'm going to say, obsessed over going live because they're used to the stress and risk involved in launching. And they're like, oh my gosh, if I go live and I don't get sales, I'm going to be screwed, you know? So it's a lot less pressure, which tends to help as well. Okay, and so we got that. Who does J. Crew think they are? Yeah, and I think the thing about emails is most people are underutilizing your list, and you're just not sending enough emails. Someone at our live event asked me, they're like, okay, how many emails is too many emails? And I said, six emails a day. If you send more than 6 emails a day, I think that's too much. So if you guys need a reminder to send more emails, that is fine. And yeah, is your teacher going live during the Amy? I do not know how Amy is teaching to go live, but I can almost guarantee you that we are doing it differently. Ours is based on more of a service and a sales structure, not a very long-winded presentation about how amazing you are. We're really just trying to stick to the results. So
Yeah.
it's a different way of doing it,
And
and it's
I
a
would
lot
say
faster.
our philosophy is always based on conversations. We just we never, with our clients or with our live trainings, we don't want to come and like just talk at you. Like it doesn't, for us, it doesn't feel good to just sit and hear and listen to myself speak. That's why, like, my training, I want you to know that you can trust us, and I want you to know that we are legitimate. So I do have to tell you that I've been doing this since 2011. I do want you to see what other clients have done with us, but I don't need to make it like an entire arc story telling you all of the struggles, because we just feel like anything that feels too staged or too like, you can I did my slides. Of course, I thought, and I'm very strategic in how I want to present this to you, but I'm not scripting out every single word because that doesn't feel right. That's not my teaching style. So I would say you have to find your teaching style. And also in terms of you being live or needing to be live, I don't think you need to be live, but I think people have to be able to experience you and to build trust faster, because I can build trust like way faster sitting here with you for a few minutes, 30 minutes, even a few. You can get on and you can hear a little bit of what I'm saying and just get the energy of how we teach and how we interact. So I don't think it's needed. I think a pre-recorded something can totally serve, but I do think if you have a live element, it's just going to help in making some of those buyers jump in a little bit faster.
Yeah. So yeah, so Nicole, I know we wanted to do breakout rooms and just give everyone an opportunity to kind of talk through their thoughts on this. I did want to give that opportunity to do some breakout rooms if anyone wants to talk through what you are thinking, how you can apply this to your own business. Nicole, do you want to do anything before we kind of do these breakout rooms to give everyone a chance to kind of just ask any more questions, talk to us, do anything like
Yeah.
that?
Amanda said in your email, you said this is the final free training we're hosting. And oh, yeah, well, that was a typo. It's definitely 2024. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was a typo. I meant to write 2024. And this is when we say that, like, this is our last formal big training of the year. Like, that's just what it means.
All right. So I'm going to open up the breakout rooms so we can just chat through any questions anyone else has. And then we can kind of come back and just wrap up real quick if we have some time. So I'm going to open up the breakout room so we can do that now.
Awesome.
All right, Nicole, I'm going to jump into the guest room and then you can jump into the main room.
Okay.
I'm listening to Nicole in the other room and she's like, okay, Dan just closed the Zoom room, so we have to wrap. I'm like, oh, sorry. So I'm just, while she comes back, I'd love to hear from all of you. What was like your favorite part? What was a piece that kind of sticks out to you? What is a piece that you can implement? What was something that you guys can start working on right away? I'd love to, you could put it in the chat, or if you want to open up and chat, that's cool too. But what is a takeaway? What is something you can implement? What stood out to you?
I was just answering in the middle of answering a question. So
I didn't know if there was a good or a bad time to do it. So I just hit the button.
And I had to go get it. Anyway.
That's what I figured. That's what I figured.
With everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out.
Yeah, so Nicole's going to hop off, but I just really did want to say thank you to everyone for being here. I did just ask my group to put in the chat, but I'd love to hear from all of you. What was your biggest takeaway? What was one thing that you can start to implement right now that you could take from this training, go out and start getting some sales with today? If you could put that in the chat. How to make my masterclass evergreen. Awesome. Better call to action on my weekly. Okay.
I didn't realize it was right in front of the door. It was stuck there for a second.
Oh. Anyone else? Let's see. Better call to action. What else? Okay, so if you can put your takeaway in the chat. If you guys do have any other questions, I have 5 more minutes if anyone wants to talk through anything. Otherwise, we can wrap up. So any last minute questions before we wrap? Just selling faster makes so much sense. Yes, thank you. That's good, Katie. I'm happy you got that.
I have another question, Dan.
Sure, go ahead.
So from this funnel perspective, as you teach it, you're saying do a lead magnet, convert them into, like a low ticket offer, convert them into, a next level, like, can you just talk through like your 4 funnels? Like if you had to, for someone who's starting out, like what you suggest or how you suggest doing this?
So you have your main offer, right? So like our main offer is Elevate. You have an offer helping women go through divorce, right? That's your main offer. That's the place you want to bring most of your sales from. That's correct, correct?
Yeah.
So the first place that I would probably start is just a free thing, a secret podcast, or like taking your live training that you're doing and turning it into a free automated thing, whether that's a secret podcast or recording, something like that. And on that, you're bringing people in and you're selling them directly into your course. There's no stopovers. There's no diversions. It is just keep the main thing, get leads, sell them into your main program. Once you have that going, the next thing I would add in is probably a live element of doing that recorded thing, do something live that is similar but different. Give an opportunity to people to open up, ask questions, connect with you. That can be once a month. It can be once a week. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. I know you're working full time as well. So that would probably be the second thing. As you have those 2 things running, you really have to start to analyze your data and your messaging and saying, okay, what is working to get people to show up live? What is working to get people to consume this free thing? And then once we have those answers and we really see some messaging that's popping off and really going well, then I would probably go to a low ticket offer of just like, all right, what's a low ticket, really logical offer we could sell? To get if you wanted some more leads, and then obviously what the other, like, just to kind of tie this all together, the 4th thing, it depends on if you even want this, but if you have something you could ascend your people to or renew your people with, that renewal offer is usually one of the first things we work on as well, just because in general, that's usually pretty easy to sell because they already know, like, and trust you. So that's usually a pretty easy way to get some extra cash in the door.
Got it. So that would be something like an ongoing support membership.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the word membership, but yeah, some type of support like that. Yeah.
Some kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Cool.
So basically by moving that masterclass from the live element into the secret podcast, you're making it available right away for those fast buyers. Exactly. And allowing them to buy it right away instead of having to wait. essentially is what you're doing.
Yep. Exactly.
Got it. And then
Cool.
the ones who need the nurturing, you're giving them the opportunity to meet with you, talk to you,
Yeah,
figure out
and
who
they're
you
also
are.
being nurtured through the automated thing too, through the secret podcast or the recording or whatever as well. So they're just progressing a little bit slower, but it's them, it's not you.
I really like the way that you have literally flipped what is last in my thing to first in my thing, saying, hey, get your
Yeah.
first fast buyers in.
Yeah. I mean, so like that's the other interesting thing is so many of us are burying our offers, burying our actual pitch in hours and hours of content, where if we just move that forward a little bit, you will naturally get more sales just because of that.
But people don't feel like, oh, she's just coming and selling me something. That kind of
Well,
thing.
I mean, if you do it the wrong way, they will. But if you do it from a place of service that you're actually providing a new idea and new value and showing you how much support you're going to provide them, they're going to love it. It's like if you show up to the car wash and you go to pay and they like start giving you some 1 hour lecture on how great car washes are, you're going to be like, what the heck? I'm here for a car wash. Like they're there to get their problem solved. If you're not selling them, you're wasting their time.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Cool. Jonas, I see you unmuted. You good? You got a question? You want to talk through anything?
So mine was so I missed the majority of the training. So
That's okay.
But my only thing was easiest way to promote your next live event.
Easiest way. When you say easy, do you mean like where, like Instagram or email, or what's yeah, can you?
More strategy, I guess.
Okay.
So we do like social media, email.
Okay. And this is a free live event, correct?
No, this one, well, yeah, actually, so I have two, I mean, one paid, one not.
Okay.
So one's $97, and then the other one is free, yeah.
Okay. So on the free side, you have to make it so exciting that they are going to say yes, but actually show up. So the work for the free event is actually making sure those people who signed up actually show up. So don't like once they register, that's when the selling starts, is you really have to get them involved in like why this is going to be so different, why they need to be there live, because the beauty is getting in there live. So I may even say it's only free for those who attend live. That's like something that we've been playing with. But really your work, if you're doing it for free, is making sure those people who said, hey, I'll do this for free, that they actually show up. On the flip side, the people who are going to pay you, your work is really on the front end. You have to make this so exciting that they're willing to get out their credit card and give you some money. And so that result has to be extremely valuable, exciting, and specific to what are they going to be able to take now and implement right away. So I think the paid system or the paid training should be more about a specific problem that they can take action on right away. I think the free training should be about something about like a new model, a new way of doing things, something like new and exciting that you're not going to go too much into the nitty gritty, but it's more belief shifting than logical, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely does.
Okay, cool. So you're good, or you have any more questions on that?
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
All right, cool. Okay. Any other questions from anyone? Thoughts, questions, ideas before we wrap? Did I see a hand? No? Okay. How much in advance are you promoting a live training? So Hallie, it really depends on how much effort we want to put into it. Sometimes we promote like, we'll do like a quick weekly brainstorm and we promote it for 24 hours or 48 hours. This live event today, we promoted for like 2 weeks. So maybe not 2 weeks, but 10 days or so. So it really depends on, it depends on what we're looking for. So I would say somewhere between 24 hours and 10 days. Earlier than 10 days feels a little too early. And then obviously you have to have enough time to promote it. So 24 hours is pretty short. We don't have the best success when we only have 24 hours, but it is what it is. So, okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. If you are not in Elevate and you gave me your email, I'll be reaching out to you shortly to chat more about that. I'm so excited to share more about that with you all. If you do have any other questions for us, Elevate in the Facebook group, fill out your data tracker, go there. If you're not in Elevate, shoot us an email, hi@NicoleCulver. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye, everyone. Talk soon.